Welcome to the America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry, powered by the American Business Podcast. My name is Kevin Deveci. I'm the founder of the American Business Podcast, ABP, and America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry, AVCCI. AVCCI is a virtual business chamber of commerce. Because it's virtual, we have no boundaries. We are a national group of business professionals, leaders, executives, and the workforce. I'm excited to let you know that now the American Business Podcast, ABP, is fully integrated with America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry, AVCCI. AVCCI is inclusive. From solo entrepreneur to Fortune 500, there is something for every single business professional, executive, leader, as well as corporation to learn, educate, connect, collaborate, and grow business in this age of AI. We have more than 10 committees at AVCCI. These committees meet monthly. They are open for business community, meaning they are complimentary. Please feel free to register. Go to avcci.us and events section on the website and feel free to pick the committee meeting that you like and register complimentary. Each complimentary committee meeting is designed to be educational. Also, it's designed to help you start building business relationships. Join us at AVCCI. Grow your personal and professional connection and grow your business in this age of AI. Today, I'd love to welcome you to the AVCCI Women in Business Committee meeting, monthly meeting. At AVCCI, we support women in business. That's why we started AVCCI Women in Business Committee. We have great leaders at AVCCI Women in Business Committee, Stacy and Christy. I'm welcoming you this month's committee meeting. Please learn, connect, educate yourself, as well as start building business relationships at AVCCI, America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry, powered by the American Business Podcast. Thank you for your support.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome, and thank you for being at our first Women in Business Committee with AVCCI. I am one of the original founders with Kevin, and I also own a personal travel planning business, and we'll get more into that, which is fairly new. I started that in late 2025 after being in corporate America for way too long. That could be a whole nother conversation. And this is something I wanted to do for a long time because I personally travel a lot. I am the person in the group that does all the planning, does all the hosting, coordinates everything. I mean, right now, if you were on, I was talking about a group that is in Banff. If you don't know where that is, neither did I. It's in Canada. And their one day flight, there's one flight to Banff a day, as you can imagine, and their trip got canceled their flight got canceled last night. So we're rerouting and fixing the transportation for them to get there. So anyway, that's what I do. And I am the co-chair of this committee along with Stacy, who I'm really happy to introduce and really happy to do this with. I can't think of a better partner to be a co-chair with for women in business. We are both extremely passionate about women just starting in business or women in business, because the needs of women in business is very different than the needs of men in business. And not that both don't have different needs, they're just different. Anyway, take it away, Stacy.
Thanks, Christy. My name is Stacy Simbrom. I run a organization called the Reflection Project. I am a coach. I work with individuals and businesses. I have a holistic approach to what I do. So I've been in business for about 15 years under the umbrella of Reflection Project since 2019. I also do work with some psychology organizations. I have spent time, I ran my own not-for-profit for quite a long time. I've also worked in the fields of not-for-profit with mental health as well as addiction organizations in New York. So that's my overall idea here. And my why was I noticed that what we were doing was really missing the mark. Social workers are amazing, clinicians are amazing, counselors are amazing, but from somebody who really loves that environment and loves that reflective relationship, it was really missing the mark for me later on. And I realized the part that was missing the mark for me was a more whole being approach, was more getting to know my body in a different way so that I could learn how to leverage it. So that's my approach to the work that I do. And I am so happy to see some gentlemen with us today,
Me too.
which is absolutely amazing. So Christy, where would you like to go from here?
So I'm going to go through the programming that we have scheduled for the next several months. And this is based on Stacy and I brainstorming with some other women in business. However, as we have these meetings, we want to hear from the members attending, or even if you're not a member, what their pain points are so that we can create and curate a agenda for the coming months that really fits the audience's needs and the women in business. And even the guys, I mean, I'm sure you work with or have people that you're connected to, that are women in business that probably have different challenges. Would like to hear from you as well. So I think the best next step is to just have everybody give us your name, give us a little background on, what you did or what you're doing, your business, because part of this is also, I'm a huge advocate for, and this is going to be one of our topics, for women supporting women. I think there's a lot of women out there that talk about it, but don't actually do it. And that is my own personal experience as well. So your name, your business, what you're currently doing, what you did, if you pivoted in the last year or so or 5 years, what you did prior to that, and then, why you made that change. And then one thing that's a real challenge for you, like where are you getting stuck, and where do you need help? So let's start with Suzanne.
Good morning. Hi, everybody. So I'm Suzanne Beck. I did pivot about a year and a half ago. I was in the nonprofit space for 20 some odd years, running events, working with donors, building boards, all the things you do on the development side, and just decided that I needed a change. So I decided to leave the job that I was at and I started to do consulting. So I do fractional fundraising, as well as I'm the sales manager at Preferred Events, which is a full service rental company. And it was a company that I always worked with in my nonprofit and personal space. So when I was looking to do a change, I was reaching out to everybody that I know to say I was going to be doing consulting. And when I was talking with Preferred Events, they said, "You've always given us referrals. Why don't you come to this side of the playing field and help us grow our nonprofit and corporate side?" So I did that. And I also run a women's networking group that meets once a month on Long Island, and it's all about connecting, growing, and empowering each other. And there's a give get to it. So I have like three little buckets that I kind of am working through, and it seems to be giving me the life that I wanted and the peace and the happiness so that I can spread my wings a little bit more than being just stuck in one little box.
I love
May-
that.
May I ask what your buckets are?
So I do fractional fundraising consulting. So I work with nonprofits, whether they have a leave replacement or they have a project or they need to reevaluate their board and teach their board about fundraising and what that looks like and their give gets. I can do their logistics. So it varies on what their need is. The other bucket is I run a women's networking group. So I'm always looking for women to join that. And then I'm the sales manager at Preferred Events.
It's a lot to juggle.
Yeah.
Do you have any work-life balance at this point?
I do. I have a lot of work-life balance. I try to be remote at least 2 days a week. I
Nice.
like to go into the preferred events office because I'm a team player and I want them to see me. So I try to go in there about 2 days a week. And then I have one day where I'm working on something of my own or I'm going to the gym or it's just one day for me to figure out I could do whatever I want on that day.
Nice.
And the idea is that also 2 weeks ago, my daughter lives in Florida and she was having a mini crisis, nothing crazy, but in her world it was crazy. And just, sometimes you just need your mother.
Yeah.
So it was a Saturday morning. I looked at my husband. She was on speaker. By the time he hung up the phone, I had a plane ticket booked. And I was like, you're driving me to the airport in 2 hours. And I didn't have to feel, oh my God, how am I going to tell somebody I'm not going to be in the office next week?
Right.
I just sent a text message saying, I'm going to be out of town, taking my laptop with me. Anybody needs me, you know how to reach me. And it was just kind of like very easy and comfortable. And there was no stress about her needing me and how I was going to do it. So I definitely have a work-life balance that works for me.
And
I love
freedom.
that.
Yes.
Love that.
I want to at some point hear more about this women's networking group on Long Island.
Okay.
And
Definitely.
Stacy's shaking her head as well.
Absolutely.
Are you both on Long Island?
Yes,
We
we
are.
Okay. I will definitely share that. It's called the She Power Hour.
Oh, I love that.
That
So,
sounds great.
Okay.
Thank
So why don't we go? Thank you, Suzanne, for all of that. That was really helpful. So if there's one challenge that you have as a women business owner, what is that?
is my biggest challenge is not pleasing everybody. Um, I was recently talked into by a friend to do a project that I knew wasn't a right fit for me, and I called her and I said I'm reluctant to take this. These are my reasons why, and I think like I'm gonna say no. And we were on the phone for an hour, and she said I need you to do this for me. For me, you're the right person. And all my triggers said no, and I said okay, let's do a trial. And I reduced everything she wanted to make it like kind of work. And I did it for a month and I wasn't passionate about it. I wasn't happy about it. There was nothing that I was enjoying. So I had to have that tough call saying, remember when I told you I was reluctant? I need to pull out because I'm not enjoying this. And it's something personal. And I was so nervous that it would affect our working relationship and how we work on projects together.
Right.
I had to tiptoe around it, but I should have just stuck with my no
Right.
beginning. And that's my biggest challenge is I hate to like disappoint.
So I think we have in our lineup, and if we don't, I will incorporate this, learning how to say no.
Mhm.
The other thing that I'm going to add after thinking about this morning is women have a tendency, the guys will probably, this will resonate with them, of apologizing for just about everything. And there's no apology for the simple little things unless you indeed have something to apologize for. But women have a tendency to say, oh, I'm so sorry, blah, 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 blah.
Right. I
And
agree with
I have no idea why they do that.
because we're just taught to do that.
Right. So we need to stop doing that. Okay. Thank you, Suzanne. So let's go to Brett. I'm super curious to hear about you and what made you join our group today.
Hi everyone. I'm a founder member of AVCCI as well, and I met Kevin last November at the DMFS conference where I was a fractional CMO for one of my clients. I'm actually based in Dallas, Texas, but my client they are based in Quebec, and
Oh,
like, oh yeah, one of the founders didn't feel comfortable like going by himself. Well, he's young, he's younger, and he English is his second language, so he kind of just felt like out of place. So I'm like, I'll fly up, go to the booth with you. Met Kevin, and we just started to like connect. So we've been, I've been at his show a few times. He's been on my podcast as well, and we were talking about me being a co-chair. I said, you know what, let me get some practice and see how it's being done. And this was a meeting that he recommended. So I said, you know what, I'm going to hop on. It's also cool because most of my clients are actually women, business owners. So I'm like, you know
oh,
what?
so this will be helpful.
It's
Yeah.
helpful, yeah, because I was just looking at like my client list. I'm like, man, yeah, and I actually just like working with women more than men. And I think for all the reasons why it might seem as a negative in terms of maybe not so much apologizing, but I think just temperament, right? So there's a lot of guys I'll meet, and they're very much like that alpha energy, But then when you put a proposal in front of them, they get quiet. I said all of them, but there's like a higher than 50% average where the more they kind of like talk
Right.
about what they're planning to do, I'm like, okay, here's everything that we heard, here's what it is, here's the plan. It's like crickets, so it's like some kind of spin. But usually, with my women clients, if they say, you know what, I want to do this, put it in front of them, okay, what do I sign? And I'm like, and then also I think most of my clients are very collaborative. So it's more you're hiring me for my brain as opposed to a pair of hands.
Right.
So I think that's also like that team player aspect. So it works out well for me though. But but in general, so my background is that I come from the advertising space in New York City. So I worked at Madison Avenue for about 15 years. Moved to Texas in 2018, and I ended up working for clients and my boss was in New York City, so I couldn't really escape it. And then 2 years ago, I started Gary Consulting, and I needed a space to be creative and technical because in advertising, I started off working with creatives, and because I had like this technical background, I kind of got pushed into product management and project management. Went to NYU, got my master's degree, did all the things you're supposed to do, and I realized I really hated project management. And I didn't like to do, it's like I like to do product management, but there was no balance. So now with Gary Consulting, I actually do a lot of the same things I did in corporate, but I do a lot of photography and a lot of branding now. So I like to work with business owners who are either starting a business and doing all of the logos, the assets, the creative, and then working through the all of the marketing side of things, like the dashboards and whatnot. And I find like I need that balance, like because if it's too much on one or the other, like it gets weird. So people are
Right.
like, oh, that feels like a lot, but in my brain, it's just like all big one connected system. So if I can get started from the beginning with like the strategy, the creative, then go to the technical, it works out pretty well.
Yeah, usually people are like one side or the other. It
Yeah,
sounds like
and
you're both.
I try because like so I work with a lot of realtors and broke real estate brokerages, and I just shot a $2 million home out here, and $2 million in Texas is different than $2 million in New York. So in New York, I have a friend, she has an apartment, it's like 2 million, and it's in Fort Greene, and it's like 2 bedrooms, and I'm like, oh, it's kind of like really
Two, I'm
small.
surprised.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, but 2 million in Dallas is like 6 acres, eight
Right.
bedrooms,
Right.
all the work. So I love to shoot the photography for the listings, do the video, but then, I'll work with the realtors on like their marketing plans, the social media, like build a website. And it's an end-to-end system. So when we have conversations, it's like, I'm thinking about, you know what, if you're selling this house in this neighborhood, let's shoot content. Like let's, fly my drone, you know, do all the things, do video, and then I'll look at the analytics data for what kinds of posts to create. So it works out well. I think it's just hard for people to kind of wrap their heads around like, are you like a generalist? But I'm like, it's just systems thinking though. And I learned that from, working in advertising world.
Yeah. It sounds like you have a range of things that you're capable of doing.
Yeah.
So you said you work with a lot of women.
Uh-huh.
So just, from 30,000 feet, what do you think one of the biggest challenges is with women in business
Women
that
in
that
business,
they have?
they have, I don't think they're confident enough. I think it's, like my landlady, I say landlady, but she's younger than me. She's a web designer and we were just like talking and she's like, yeah, like we were talking about pricing, and she's telling me about
Mm,
how much she charged for websites. And I'm like, such and such is charging like three times that for like less work. And she was just like, for real? I'm like, yeah. And then even like her monthly retainers, and I'm like, that's really, really low. I'm not saying like it's bad if you're living off of it, but just I average is this amount. And it was just kind of this revelation. I'm like, yeah, you gotta like give yourself like what I just tell my wife same thing. She's in corporate now, from nursing. I said, look, my mantra is why not me? Right? If other people are charging that and they're capable of doing it, why not me? And I think myself and my women clients understand that though, like it's like a light bulb goes off.
That's interesting because it's same in the corporate world, right? Women have a tendency to not know their value and almost apologize for asking for what they need, and men just go in and,
Right, yeah.
and don't
I-
hesitate.
exactly. I tell my wife, like, don't put any qualifiers before you start talking. Like, don't say,
Correct.
pardon me if I'm wrong or such and such.
Nope.
Like,
Nope.
you have a point to make, just make the point, be confident with it, and just that's it.
Yeah.
This
I
goes
think,
back, may I?
yeah.
I think this goes back to an uncomfortable truth, which is men are permitted in today's environment to pretty much have one designated role for the most part.
Right.
A man
Right.
is the provider, and everything kind of circles around that. And that's very, very cool. There are very few men that I know of that really have to split 50-50 the way that women are expected to, with nurturing and relationships, and also being aggressive in business. We feel that we need to choose that. Um, I don't feel that most men have that same frame of mind.
Right. Those dual roles.
Yeah, those dual roles in the
Right.
same weights.
Right.
And the cultures that we live in really do fortify that and fortify all of those messages that we bring forward into the workplace and into the home place about how we show up, in what capacity, and what's too much and what's too little and what's just right. So I do
Well, that's
think,
where it starts.
yeah,
Those
absolutely.
societal norms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do think, whereas in the olden days when we were a part of a clan and living in communal spaces, and we had the representation and the balance was a little bit, even if it wasn't in our nuclear space, it was in our cultural space. I think with industrialization, that whole thing has shifted,
Yeah.
and we're very confused a lot of the time. So
About many things.
absolutely.
All right. Brett, thank you for Brent. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna go, which I don't see him on the screen.
No, he just stepped away for a moment. Is Sydney
I,
available in the meantime? Does
yes,
Sydney want to speak up?
Sydney.
Oh, oh.
Sydney.
I hear Nerio, but
Yeah,
I don't see his camera.
something happened with my video. I have no idea.
Oh, there you are.
I don't know what happened. Okay.
Yeah, you were sort of blinking on and off the screen.
Yeah, I guess
Oh, there you are.
oh, maybe not. All right.
Don't you love technology?
This is crazy. All
There you
right.
go. We can see you.
Okay, well, very
How
nice
are
to meet
you?
you.
So
Nice.
it's
to meet
Nero?
Nerio, yep.
Nerio. Nice to
Yeah.
meet you.
Nice to meet you, and thank you for having me, everyone. Yeah, I'm founding member as well. I've known Kevin for many years now, I think, right? So been a while. We met on Long Island. I'm with, as you can see behind me, I'm with IMSM. So they're a consulting firm based in the UK. We do quality management consulting. So mostly working with manufacturing, but we're industry agnostic, so all kinds of organizations that would need something like ISO or GMP, and these are just, quality systems for companies to show that, hey, we have our stuff together, and, it unlocks all kinds of market potential. So, that's what, and just in terms of this, it's funny, the last, it's not really much of a pivot. I was with a consulting firm before I came back to IMSM. But it was totally manufacturing focused, and I know they did have a women in manufacturing group,
Oh,
and it was because that's also pretty rare to find women, especially
yeah.
in the C-suite in
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
so
the C-suite at all, but go ahead.
True, yeah, in the C-suite at all, yeah, absolutely. But even less so in manufacturing, right?
Right. Well,
Uh,
and tech, right?
and tech, yep.
Yeah.
They're industries where, and those are all the industries that we were, tech, manufacturing,
Yep.
construction,
Yep.
so to your point, the only time where I'm, and still not C-suite, but at least, I'd say like mid-management is when I get into like healthcare, right?
Right.
But other than that, yeah, correct. So like, yeah, we always tried to kind of have that focus out there. I mean, I believe to Brent's point, I always enjoyed I always just thought it was better conversations whenever I was, working with women on at least, kind of coming up with a plan really understanding like what needs to be done because, I don't know. I don't know. I guess I can't nail down psychologically what that is, but, especially when it comes to working, on the people side
It
of
comes
it.
from juggling 35 million things. That's what.
Yeah, yeah. And then like and I feel like they have a better grasp on like what's going on people wise with the company.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's it's always something I mean, plus I have two daughters, so I'm all
Ah.
so that too, definitely pro
What do your daughters do?
my daughters, well, my oldest one is 13, so
So
they're
she's
young.
going to school. Okay, that's her
Yeah, the
job.
little one's about to turn 9 next month.
Oh, you're in the thick of it.
Yeah, yeah, still in the thick of it. So,
Girls are so much fun when they're teenagers.
yeah, well, yeah, fun's a way to put it. Yeah,
Buckle up.
yeah, yeah. It
That
started.
was sarcasm.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it started already like at 12. So yeah,
Oh, don't you have a long runway in front of you.
yeah, yeah. So
I
so
think you
I
should
so
plan
I've
a lot
heard.
of trips.
Yeah, yeah. So I've heard, but no, being a girl dad is awesome, But
Yeah.
it's one of the things. I actually got them, for Christmas. We got them like a 3D printer and just trying to kind of get them to learn, little things, like because I kind of got inspired by that women in manufacturing group. I mean, there's women with amazing
Mm.
skills, just especially on like cutting edge stuff. So additive manufacturing, I noticed for some reason I noticed more women in like added like really you niche kind of stuff so
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah try to kind of get them into that
So what
like,
made you join this group today? I'm just so curious.
well I was talking to Kevin and he mentioned the group. He's like, if you had some time afterwards. I said, yeah, sure, would love to kind of get to know some of the different kinds of parts of the group, right? I know we and
Yeah.
the manufacturing is and should be a major part of it, right? So
Yeah.
women in business. I'm like going back to my women in
This,
business.
this is women in business, but you can invite all those women in manufacturing. I would love to meet them.
Yeah, I do know, and there are definitely a
It's a great
couple I
idea.
would love
Yeah, I
to.
mean, everybody on the group, you too, Suzanne, you're hosting a women's networking group. Please, extend the invitation to them. I mean, as I'm sure you all know, they don't have to necessarily be members to join.
Yes.
We welcome everybody. I mean, you can tell Stacy and I, this is going to be very conversational, very casual, a safe space, to talk about whatever the issues are. We're neither one of us really likes to be very scripted.
Yeah.
So this won't be that at all. It will be more conversational, getting to know each other, learning how we can support each other, like
Yeah.
truly support each other.
Well, to your point, I mean, it's absolutely true where women wear several hats, just in general, So I find that to be the same at work too. I don't know. It bothers me to a point because I see it where, especially it'll be a woman who's like an HR manager, but
Mm-hmm.
she does like 10 different jobs in the company and it's
Mm-hmm.
almost like abuse. Like
Yep.
I just it's I see it pretty
Abuse.
often.
Women have never been abused.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. When has that ever happened? But yeah, it's a thing, right? Like, so I definitely get it. I don't know if it's something that's just like expected, but yeah, no. So I totally hear it, and that's why I think it might be harder for women to kind of get out and do some of this stuff, right? So yeah, I'll definitely invite them. I know of a couple of women that jump right out.
Good. So
Interested.
in your observation, since you have two daughters and clearly you're married and you work with women from, again, 30,000 feet, what do you see as some of the challenges of women in business or even women in the workplace?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, so I mean, I think you kind of did touch on it about some of them not speaking up as much.
Mm,
Because I find that women kind of had some of the better ideas or better way to go about things. And I think it's unfortunately they're not heard as much as
mm,
someone else who maybe doesn't even have the right idea, right? And I think that's part of it. I think they're overlooked a little bit. Maybe not a little bit, a lot.
mm-hmm.
Women are overlooked. So, I also find that I don't know, like even in the women in manufacturing group, and like it was kind of like you kind of see some of the same people, right? Like I'm like, I think someone mentioned about women helping other women,
That was
and
me.
I kind of, we were all just, and I had other women that would complain, like, hey, why doesn't, you would think they kind of give the hand to someone else and put them into, so you kind of want to see a little bit more of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see how that's a thing. Separately, I mean not women, but I was at a meeting last night. It was a Latino healthcare thing, and it was said in the speech, like there's a lot of Latin representation in the workforce there, but once you get to the C-suite, almost
Right.
almost none. So
That's
same
true.
kind of a challenge in that sense. You know.
Yeah. I think one of the things I like about this group, and I'm new to it, Stacy's new to it, um, is the diversity in people in businesses. Whereas there are some other networking groups that they lack the diversity, and those are the ones that, we really don't want to be a part of because it's not the audience. It's not the people I want to hang out with, but it's not the audience that, I want to work with either. So
Yeah, I'm not. I typically, I think if you walk into a room and there's only one type of person, and it's some,
that kind of
you know,
tells you all you need to know, right?
it kind of, a little bit, yeah, it does. And like I mean, for me, yeah, I mean, having all the because then you actually have like an array of opinions and an array
Of
of life
course,
experiences.
exactly.
Yeah, it's important
Yeah.
to have that. So
I mean, people have different, they come from different cultures, different parts of the world. They bring a different perspective, which, I want to hear.
yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, and it's the quick thing. I remember one big manufacturing event where they brought these, it was a panel that they brought on, right? Um, and it was, it was called out. It was actually called out by one of the women who does attend the women in manufacturing. I think this is all recorded. It was really funny. So it just so happened that they bring all these experts on stage. They were all of them were white men, literally like six white men. I think it
That's
was
when I would get
one.
up and leave.
Yeah, and it was very loud. It was called out by a woman who had the microphone, and she's like, there's like, what is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because you're really not getting an array of opinions, right?
Well, you're
Uh,
not representing the audience.
yeah,
You're representing one point of view.
yeah, and they're not representing their workforce certainly,
Right.
not at all. So yeah,
Right.
I hear you.
And I do think that that's something that women have to work with over and over and over again. It's that in many ways, we live in a place, we work in places that don't represent us.
Yes, that's
And we're
very true.
expected to morph into
Yes, that's right. That's
what
right.
that place expects of us, rather than I was under the impression I got hired because you saw something in me
Right.
that you recognized made sense in your organization. Um, so it can, again, I think women walk through a lot of their work lives being very confused because there's a lot of double messaging out there.
I remember years and years ago, the corporate world that I came from was mostly fashion and retail. Um, but during that time, there's other types of retail organizations I worked for, and one of them was a Home Depot company called Expo. And Expo was this elevated service of renovating kitchens and bathrooms and all things for the home at a very like luxurious level. And I remember being hired, and all except for two of us that were hired at the same time, all the general managers, because it was for a general manager, were men. And so we were I didn't realize this at the time necessarily. I mean, ultimately, we were the token women that were being hired. Not necessarily for our skill set, which clearly we both had, but because we were women. And there was no diversity in that group. So yes, Stacey, you're right. It's a confusing thing.
Yeah.
When that happens, because then you're trying to find your way into a space that's dominated by men.
Yeah. And by things that don't resonate with us.
Right.
Cultures that don't resonate, belief systems that don't resonate. I mean, it's really multi-leveled
Yeah.
as far as that goes.
So thank you, Nero.
Yeah.
Nerio. I'll get that right. Thank you for that. And thanks for being here. I love that we have men attending.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I
Sydney.
appreciate it. I'm actually, unfortunately, I'm gonna run. I just noticed the
Okay.
time. But thank you so much. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate
Nice
it.
meeting
And,
you.
nice meeting you too. Nice meeting everyone. And look forward to jumping on again with you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Thank you.
Okay, Sydney, last but not least.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. I was having technical issues earlier, so I'm really glad. But yeah, I'm here today. I've been attending all of the ABCCI meetings because I work under Kevin. So he and I have been just popping in everywhere to see how we could help. But I also just selfishly was really interested, like because I'm a woman, like I was really interested to see I don't know how these meetings play out. I'm really excited because I also feel like there's like I don't know. It's just nice to have people with a similar who have that same framework kind of give you tips and tricks because I'm very new to working in working. So it'll be nice to kind of get tips and tricks ahead of time instead of having to figure it out over time and be like, why am I confused about this? Why do I feel like I don't know. It'll be nice. I just am really excited about what you guys are doing. And it seems like everyone's really passionate about it. And yeah.
Well,
And
thank you. But tell
yeah.
us about you. So
Yeah,
we know you work for Kevin. How long have you worked for him? What have you done before? What do you want? What do you like doing?
Yeah, so I graduated from college last year, and after I graduated, I was interning for Kevin for a little bit for his pre-sales like software position, and then eventually he hired me. So now I'm like doing pre-sales, and then I'm also helping him with like I helped him with the website for ABCCI, and I'm just helping him support. I'm supporting wherever I can to get ABCCI up and running. Um, and yeah, I remember you're asking about like something that you're asking as a woman, but something we might struggle with. And I feel like for me right now, it's just on the top of my head because I just had a conversation with my friends about it. I feel like I have a hard time asking for like what I want or what I need and really pushing for that.
Yeah.
Like not that like I feel like Kevin is such a great employer and he's always like giving me experience and making sure I feel heard. But I think I just yeah, I feel like what you're saying society kind of programs you to feel like you can't do that almost even though you should and it's like how you're going to grow in your career. So that's something that I'm trying to get better at.
Out of curiosity,
Well, hopefully we can help you with that. Go ahead, Stacey.
and out of curiosity, in your mind of minds, when you think about asking for what you want or what you need, what do you actually think is going to happen? How are people going to perceive you for asking for what you want and asking for what you need?
Yeah, I guess in my head, I almost feel like I'm being audacious, even though there's nothing wrong with asking. And there's nothing audacious about that. If anything, you're trying to grow in the company, which will just benefit
Good word.
I
would tell you to be very audacious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like there's nothing wrong with being audacious. So yeah,
No, certainly
right.
not. What did you study in college?
Computer science.
Another
Yeah,
area that women don't tend to study in.
yeah. I would have some classes because I started off at a community college. I was the only woman.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I've definitely, I'm hoping that as time goes on, more women will start to come into this field.
So do you live here in New York?
No, I live in New Jersey,
You live
so
in New
a little
Jersey.
bit
Okay.
more. Yeah,
And where'd you go to school?
Rutgers.
Rutgers. Oh, that's a good school.
Yeah, and it's since it's in state, it's affordable, so which is always good.
Good for you. Well, I'm
Mhm.
glad you're here, and I hope you come to some future meetings.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And thanks for sharing that. I think you're right. Women, I think that's a common theme for women. Um, my niece was just applying, interviewing for different jobs, and she took a year off. And I'm like, okay, don't fall into the same rut of not asking for exactly what you want.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
hopefully she got that message from some of her last roles and is a little bit more audacious in what she's asking for now.
I think
no, yeah,
innovation needs audaciousness in order to happen.
1,000%.
So I bet if you spend some time and reflect a little bit, your role models have a thread of audacious in them.
That's a good question for a future meeting. Who are your role models?
Yeah. So I personally find Kevin and Kevin's story to be, the foundation of that story is based on being audacious.
For
So
sure. Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
So maybe lean into it 5 or 10%. You don't have to lean in all the way, but maybe you can lean in a little and kind of test the waters.
Yeah, I think he'll allow for that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go through some of the programming that Stacy and I discussed through December. I would love everybody's feedback
Yes.
on other things or other topics, or if you think any of these are a waste of time. So starting in August, the topic is how to negotiate, how appropriate, what you want um, effectively in the workplace, which I think everybody has sort of spoken to today. So I think we need a really strong guest speaker for that.
Mhm.
So Stacy and I will work on that. And if anybody has any recommendations, please feel free to send them our way. For September, the topic, which is near and dear to my heart because I feel like we talk about this so much and it doesn't actually happen. Women supporting women, what that really means and how to do that. We want to host a discussion on how we can support each other, and what that really means for women in business. And hopefully we'll have a guest speaker for that as well. If not, it will be Stacy and I. October. This is a big one for women too. A little bit of what you were saying, Sydney, imposter syndrome. Women thinking, and we actually have a guest speaker for that I need to confirm, but women thinking that they don't have the confidence. It goes back to confidence to do or get what they're asking for, and they kind of can't believe like it's happening to me. Brett, you said something about why not me? Why not?
Yeah.
So I think that's part of that whole imposter syndrome. November, interesting topic about sexual harassment in the workplace. That never happens. We're looking for a guest speaker for that as well. And then December, what skill would you like to develop going into the new year? Perfect time to start thinking about 2027. Reflecting on 2026 because we have a tendency not to do that. And then as you go into the new year, what's the skill that you'd like to learn or develop? And we're looking for a guest speaker for that. I suggested Mel Robbins, but Stacy doesn't like that idea. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Um, Anything else that you guys would like us to consider for future topics for future meetings? We're open to suggestions. Or are there any of those topics that you don't agree with?
I actually like I like all of them. I want to share if you can get maybe like a
Yeah,
document that has the topics because out here in Dallas I have like a couple of local networking groups that I'm a part of,
good.
and
Okay.
so I feel like there's probably maybe even some like guest speakers like, hey, you know what? I need like to talk, so why don't you
Oh,
hop on some
excellent.
either AVCCI and
Oh, yes, please send the guest speakers our way. I would love that.
yeah, okay. Yeah.
And Kevin, is there a way for us to take this agenda and just post it somewhere?
Yes, so one is our LinkedIn group of the American Business Podcast. Another one is we have the online group on WhatsApp.
What's up?
So if you haven't joined, please join. You can join us through the AVCCI website. On top right, there is the online community that you can click in and then just sign up, join by computer or phone. So I will say LinkedIn and the online group will be the nice venue
Right.
to share.
Okay.
Any
Anyone
other
else?
topic, guys? Any other topics at this point?
Suzanne, what do you think?
Um, Well, I don't know if this is a topic, but it's an observation, at least from my world, is that especially in marketing, I feel like marketing has a really high concentration of women who aren't just like doing like junior level work, but have, I would say even project management, especially in enterprise space.
When you say
Every
marketing, are you saying marketing yourself or marketing a
Oh no, just
product?
just the marketing industry, I
Marketing
think,
industry.
has really it's really a space where women have like carved out a really strong like leadership and growth roles. And I think most of the companies that I'm seeing who are growing and thriving are women owned and
Hmm.
women led. And I don't think that's an accident though. Maybe it's just like people go where there's opportunities and over time, like, you build a pipeline and whatnot though. So even in project management, like when I started in 20 like wow 2008 time frame, it was there's a lot of men, and I think like now it's like if I'm in a meeting of project managers across companies, it's like I would be like the only guy, and it's like all women, so it's not really, I don't feel bad about it though, but it's definitely like a space that I've seen. So I mean that may be a topic about like change can happen in terms of.
Well, I'm thinking that it would be good to have someone talk about that's already in those spaces that are male dominated, how to break into male dominated industries or spaces.
Yeah, yeah.
Out of curiosity, how do you feel when you walk into those spaces that are predominantly female held?
Well, so let me put it this way. And I'm gonna keep it 100%. Like I am in tech, marketing, what have you. I'm usually one of two things. I'm either the only black person, and I'm usually the only black male. So at the end of the
Hmm.
day, it's like, if I'm in a room of women, I'm like, well, okay, at least it might be it might be
At least
friendly.
there's some diversity.
Right, so and it is, it is what it is. So, like I kind of learned to like use that as to my advantage because like I won't necessarily call it out though, but you can kind of tell when you say, "Oh yeah, we met such and such and I'm Brent," and then I kind of pause and then like the wheels turn, it's like, "Oh yeah, he's the black bald guy." But you don't say it, but it's like that's the thing. So I can have like a good follow-up and whatnot though. So but I found out that in a lot of ways, like I try to find things in common with women. So like if
Yeah.
someone's like, if they're uncomfortable, like I kind of know what that feels like. So like we have a conversation and you build a relationship and whatnot though. So I've used that to build, connections and whatnot though. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're in an unusual position in order to
Yeah.
empathize with
Yeah.
and sympathize with a lot of what women go through.
Yeah. So I think that's what I use
Yeah.
to connect with people. And I think that's also maybe why like most of my clients are women because there's like that empathy, this shared understanding. It goes to a certain extent, but it works though. Mhm.
Seems to.
Yeah.
Susan, what about you? What do you think about the programming? Did we miss anything? Anything that you're passionate about that you'd like to hear more of?
I was going to say there were two each month we have a topic that for the group, so it's very structured for to allow for the conversation. So two topics that were very popular. was it was like your path. How did you get on your path? It's not all about a straight path to get where you are. Your road from life could be curvy. And how does that work for you? Did the curve take you just on a different path completely and a different road to where you are, or did it just take your what you were working on in your professionalism into a more of a niche area? So for example, I started my career out in accounting.
Mm,
I do nothing in accounting. Like, once I got there, I was like, oh, this really isn't for me. I spent 10 years in it, need to find something different. My oldest daughter, who's grown up now, had a disability as a child. It took me 5 years to figure it out. When
right,
I finally got the right diagnosis, I met somebody in a nonprofit, and it just opened a door for me. While she was a
right,
social worker, that's not where I wanted to go. I just felt like I had to go to work every day giving back, right? And how are
right.
you going to do that? So
Yep, I
my pivot was a
totally relate.
complete change of careers, where someone else's pivot in the room was they were in advertising, and where they went from big marketing, they went to more smaller niche type of things. So how did that work for you? And it looks different for everybody. So that was really an engaging topic.
Yeah, I bet because you think about it's never a straight line, right? You're always
Right.
pivoting.
And
Yeah.
especially we like to invite college students who are just graduating or in their senior year to
Yes.
come to see, and we're trying to build a mentorship program. But the idea is for these kids, like you're getting out of school, just because that's what you went to school with doesn't mean that's what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life.
A
And it's
thousand
okay.
percent.
And it's
Well,
okay.
Stacy and I could talk to that all day long.
Yeah.
Absolutely. In fact, I think that's really true for most of us, is the fact that what we go to college for is not what we end up spending the majority of our career doing.
Right.
Right.
And they
Yeah.
do say in your lifespan, people change their careers and what they were doing at 6 to 7 times.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
you also change as a person.
right.
What you might have liked doing at 20 doesn't mean you're necessarily going to like doing that at 40.
Correct. And not
Right.
being afraid of that. So that was very interesting. And the topic we did last month was about giving back. And what does that look
Mm,
like? Whether is it monetary? Is it your time? And we picked a charity to support for the month. So we supported, I'm on a board of a charity called Baby Essentials, where we give
yep.
mothers in hospitals who are leaving, who don't have anything, not to go home with nothing. So they go home with a baby bundle. So
Oh,
they get
that's great.
to start off some diapers, some wipes, things like that. And there's a little gift in there for mom too. Um, so we talked about, like, how do you give back and what does that look like for you? And again, it does not have to be monetary. It could be volunteering your time. It could be
Yeah.
supporting. So that was also like just talking about the importance of bringing that into your life and what you get back from doing those types.
That's great. I love both of those topics.
So I think those are just great,
Those
they're
are
great
amazing.
conversations.
I think one thing that I'll be interested to see is maybe some uh women in thought leadership, because one of the hardest challenges I have with my woman clients in particular, not all of them, but most of them, is that I've been encouraging them to get into video, right? Is to tell them like you have expertise, and that expertise is what makes you like believable, and that's your selling point. And I think this is this habit of like, well, if I show like my work should speak for itself, and I'm like, no, like that's not how this works, right? It's visibility. And so, we'll have like, let's say realtors is a good example. Like you have to be very visible in real estate today to be able to sell. I mean, you could have a strong network of referrals, but social media is like a given. So I have a couple guys, I point a camera at them, they just switch goes off, and they just in hustle mode. But then, like some of my woman realtors, it's like, oh, my
Yeah,
hair's
they
not
tend
right,
not
I
to
don't know
not
what to
want to be on
say,
video. I don't know
and I don't want
why.
to be in video, and I'm just like, you don't understand, like it doesn't have to be, and I think the society puts expectations of if you're not fully made up, your hair's 100% on point, if you're not like
I have
at the
no
woman
makeup on
level,
today.
right? It's like then you're
I'm
not,
like,
and I
it's
want to be
Friday,
judged,
no makeup.
Yeah. But that's the thing. But but authenticity is so valuable today that people don't want to be
Oh
sold
yeah,
to.
that's what's resonating for sure.
So you have to be visible, and I think like I don't know what's the solution to that though, but
I think it's
when I have one, and
almost,
I did this experiment actually, where I used a tool called Riverside to do recordings. and it has a feature where it's like Zoom, except that I can turn off me being recorded, and I'll just literally have my host being recorded, and I'll talk to them, so they're looking at me, and then when I play it back to them, I'm like, look, you are completely natural and all that, and I didn't tell them what I was necessarily doing. They saw it, and they were like, oh wow, like, huh. I'm like, that's content. Imagine if we had actually done that. That would have been, a week or two of content though. So I feel like that's something that needs to be put out there. Yeah.
I think also there's just a huge challenge with people being comfortable in their own skin and
Right.
and
Mhm.
and being able to just be okay
With
with
being,
with being.
yeah,
We live in such a performative world at this point, and for a lot of people, they don't know how to marry and mesh those two sides of themselves.
Mhm.
So,
yeah,
I mean, I work a lot with people that are having problems. It comes off being performative. It's not who I am. Well,
Mhm.
how can we make it less performative so that you really do show up and honor who you are in that space?
I agree.
Yeah. And I've been in that space and I know how hard it was for me to even think about jumping into that space and continues to be. So you're talking to a work in progress here. You're not talking to somebody who's figured it out in any way, shape, or form.
Right, yeah. And I tell people, look, it's okay to be quote unquote bad on video. Like my wife tells me, like, I don't like, she's like, don't do talking head videos. Like it's just not. But I realized though having conversations is a lot easier. So like podcast works. That's why I said, look, there isn't one right way to be good online. You just have to figure out what works for your personality, but you can't not do it if you want to like grow your business, especially if it's like I think most of us are like pivoting into like our own businesses. Like if you're not the ambassador for your business, you can't outsource that.
That's
You
true. That's
Yeah.
very true.
because one of my mentors, he started he sold a business for about $50 million, and it's called Harvest. It's like a time tracking tool, and he did it for 14 years. And he said his biggest regret was that he built the business, but he didn't build himself as a brand. And when he
Yeah, he didn't
sold,
build his own brand.
no one really knew who he was. He'd have to say, "Oh yeah, I was a co-founder of Harvest," and I'm like, that's a really bad way of like talking about yourself. It's like in the
Yeah,
past tense.
yeah.
So yeah, that's, that's all like that.
I think it evolves over time. You get more and more comfortable. I do a lot of videos for traveling,
Mhm.
so I'm very comfortable with it. But when I started, I was not.
Yeah, cool.
Well, I want
Anyway,
to be respectful of everybody's time
same.
and thank you all for being a part of our first voyage into this place. Really looking forward to the next time that we're together. Thank everybody for coming and being with us today. Thank you for your graciousness and sharing everything that you shared with us. Thank you for making this group grow in a direction that is going to be unexpected and quite amazing.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thanks, Kevin, for hosting.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Of course,
you.
that was great. Great job, everyone. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Melina Picon. I'm a founding member at America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We would like you to join us today. I am also president of PowerBooks LLC. We provide outsourced accounting, bookkeeping, controller services of businesses of all size. We help them transition from struggling in-house messy bookkeeping to high-level financial department. By outsourcing with us, our clients save up to 40% on their accounting costs, which allows them to focus on generating revenue. We guarantee honest, balanced, timely, and efficient financial services. If you would like to talk us on the phone, you can call us at 845 208 4649. And if you would like to email me, my email address is melina@powerbooks-llc.com. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Arthur Germain. I'm the principal and chief brand teller at Brand Telling. We're a brand architecture firm, and I'm a proud AVCCI member. So, brand telling gives growing B2B companies the one clear story your whole team can tell, so you, as the founder, aren't the only one who can explain what your company does. What does this sound like? I call it narrative drift. It starts off, it's all in your head. You know the story. You built the brand, you know all about it. But now every sales call has a different story, and prospects start to notice. Or your marketing spend is up, but your firm never really seems different. Maybe you're expanding and your founder story isn't the same as when you started. All of these things are parts of what I call narrative drift. I help companies by exploring with them what makes them different and unique. I call it the category of one. What gives them that category of one, and then how do they express that category? So, for example, I've worked with technology companies that often sound very similar to others in the industry, and I've helped them to really look at where do they serve, whether it's through a geography or whether it's through a specific industry, and what do they do? Why do clients come to them in the first place? I explore that and then we install it. I call it installing a story operating system. What we do is we look to write down all of the messages, all of the narrative about the company stories, so that it's in one place. Think of it like having a brand Bible where everybody can turn to find out all things about you. And that way you're not having to make things up or trying to jump around trying to build new messages when you build something like a presentation for sales or you're updating and refreshing the website. Why is this necessary? Here's a good example. Lots of companies will go through a merger acquisition. Maybe it's just two friendly companies that merge together. Now they're offering some new products or new services, and you're not quite sure which one leads. It used to be just your company before the other one. Now, how does that brand story sound? What you want to do is you want to sound unified, and you want to make it sound like you're doing this for your customers' benefit. So I help companies to do that. I guide them through the process of discovering their category of one, installing that story operating system, and then I stick around to help them to maintain through brand guidance. That's what I love to do. My background is in brand storytelling, starting in publishing 20 years ago, moving through public relations and marketing, where I discovered what people really wanted was to learn the story. They wanted to know the behind the scenes, what's going on at the company. That's what made them different. That's what made them unique. And that's what made them good partners, good customers, good employees and employers. So I work with companies to discover that. Again, my name is Arthur Germain, and you can find me at Brand Telling. That's brandtelling.com. Thanks very much.
Hi, I'm Tony Lucidi. I am the CEO and owner of Lucidi Technical Solutions, and I'm also a founding member of the AVCCI Tech, AI, and Cybersecurity for Business Committee. My company is basically a small consulting firm where I offer fractional CIO work. I help companies with their digital transformations into predominantly how to utilize the existing software they already have to help make improvements to their costs, make improvements to their processes, and really try to get them to utilize more efficiently the software they already have. Most small businesses, medium businesses, they don't have tech teams. They don't have a CIO. They may have an MSP or a vendor that can help them, but generally speaking, they don't have someone on staff that helps them with their technical decisions who has the experience that I have. I have over 35 years experience in technologies. Started with application development, website, mobile. Then I reached out into marketing. Then I branched out into business, and now I own my own company. I'm going to really highly recommend that you all join the Tech, AI, Cybersecurity, and Business Committee, because technology covers a multitude of industries. It's across the board. You can never go wrong by joining a technology committee that will help you basically determine and help you navigate the difficult natures of technologies. If you just look at AI in general, how many of you are trying to get AI implemented? What do you do? How do you do it? This is where this committee will come into play. I think it's a great committee, and I look forward to you joining us and becoming a member of AVCCI.
Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Anywhere Apps by Kerr Consulting, now Cherry Baker. Anywhere Apps are designed to help you digitize and automate your business processes. Anywhere Apps are family of business software products. There are more than 40 products available for business process digitization and automation. Anywhere's apps are easy to use, they are standalone, and they are also ready to integrate with your ERP and accounting software systems. Today, I'd like to promote APS Anywhere, which is part of Anywhere Apps software product portfolio. APS Anywhere, designed for manufacturing companies. Whether you are a process manufacturing company, food and beverage, chemical, and more, or a discrete manufacturing company, automotive, aerospace, electronics, and more. APS stands for Advanced Planning and Scheduling. APS Anywhere is ready to streamline, digitize, and automate your production planning process. As you know, in manufacturing, production planning is not easy. There are always some bottlenecks and challenges. You need to put together your resources, 3M, man, machine, and material. APS Anywhere designed to streamline this process and automate it for you. It is a modern system. It runs on cloud. It also has deployment options for installation on your server or your private cloud environment. The system is scalable. It comes with unlimited number of production planning scenarios, meaning before you execute, you can see the financial implications and timing of your production planning on APS Anywhere. APS Anywhere comes with a very colorful and easy-to-use Gantt chart, so that you can see your production planning on a colorful and easy-to-operate Gantt chart before you finalize your production planning purposes. The system is also integratable. It is ready to integrate your ERP system, MRP system, and other systems whenever there is a need. It is designed for manufacturing companies by manufacturing experts. It also comes with ready-made reports if you like to utilize. Furthermore, on APS Anywhere, you can also use demand forecasting function, meaning based on your past manufacturing and sales figures, the system can predict what will be your demand in the future. This will help you manage your supply chain in a more productive manner. I have the QR code on the screen. You can scan the QR code and you can learn more about APS Anywhere as well as Anywhere App software system in general. There is more. I have a direct line for you. You can send me a direct email, kevin@kerconsulting.com. kevin@kerconsulting.com, and I'll be happy to hear from you about Anywhere Apps, APS Anywhere, or any Anywhere Apps that is offered by Anywhere Apps by Kerr Consulting, now Cherry Baker. Thank you for your support.
Hi, my name is Timothy Ryder. I'm a CPA and tax director at MGO LLP. I'm also a proud member of America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry, AVCCI for short, and I'm very happy to be at the beginning stages of this movement, which I know is going to be a great success in the future. At MGO LLP, we perform auditing and accounting services, tax services, and consulting services. We serve public companies, private companies, high net worth individuals, and governmental agencies. We serve many different industries some of them being entertainment, sports and media, technology, manufacturing, distribution, real estate. At MGO, I'm a generalist in the tax area, which means I get involved in many different things: C corporations, partnerships, S corporations, high net worth individuals. But in the tax space, we also have specialists that get involved in research and development credits and other credits as well as other incentives, state and local tax, international tax, tax controversy. And our accounting and auditing department is always looking to make your company financially healthy or even more financially healthy than it is now, and give any advice that they can, and perform audits. And on the consulting side, we get involved in cybersecurity, fraud and litigation risk, and merger and acquisition on the sell side. Again, I'm always looking to save and defer taxes for my clients in any way that I can. And if it's an area that I don't deal with, that our firm handles, that I can always refer you to someone else if I can't handle it personally. But please feel free to reach out to me. The website is mgocpa.com if you want to learn more. And thank you so much for your time.
Hi, my name is Mike Catherwood, one of the founding members of America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry, AVCCI. I'm also the chair of the International Trade, Wholesale, Distribution, and Logistics Committee. During our committee meetings, we'll be sharing important content that will help companies in those industries achieve their growth goals. Aside from AVCCI, I work for Allianz Trade, the largest provider of trade credit in the world. Trade credit helps businesses in all industries feel comfortable with who they're extending credit to, eliminating the worry of, is someone going to pay? If your business is offering credit terms or considering doing so, please contact me to learn more. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Naeem Sayed. I'm the founding member of America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I highly recommend you join it, especially it's virtual and you get access and connection to everyone across the country that you actually connect with and make a meaningful relation. On personal side, I am a consulting partner for ERA Group, where we partner with CEOs and CFOs of middle market companies in helping them improve profitability. We do that by taking a look at all of their overhead costs and areas where they really don't have either the time or the bandwidth or the resources to take a look at. And that's where we come in. We do that in a contingency model, which means no savings, no fees. So if you have clients struggling to improve profitability, we are their answer. I look forward to seeing you at America's Virtual Industry.
Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Wizen. At the American Business Podcast, we always talk about continuous improvement and professional development. That is why we partner with Wizen, trust the nation's largest network for tutoring. Wizen helps you find the tutor that you need in many different subjects: chemistry, computer, foreign languages, geometry, English, music, physics, reading, SAT, science, and many more. I have the QR code on the screen that you can sign up and start searching for tutors and enjoy the learning experience and continuous improvement, as we always talk about in the American Business Podcast. Scan the QR code and sign up for Wizen today. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Nerio Rivera, and I'm a founding member at America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Please join us today and let us help you grow your business. So I'm also the Senior Client Manager at IMSM. There we help support your current and upcoming ISO certifications through training and a variety of other services. So if you have any questions regarding ISO, the process, or how to maintain it, please send me an email.
Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Just Answer, real help from real experts 24/7. Experts such as lawyers, doctors, veterinarians, computer technicians, home improvement experts, mechanics, personal tax experts, computer technicians, and many other experts are available for you 24/7 on Just Answer. You'll get your answers anytime, during the day, during the night, 24/7, and you'll get your answers from reliable sources. You can scan the QR code on the screen and you can sign up for Just Answer. The answers you need at a price that is right. Scan the QR code and sign up for Just Answer today. Thank you for your support.
I'm David Faverio. I'm a founding member of America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry, other known as AVCCI. I am the chair of the Sustainability Committee. We look to educate people and businesses on how to be more sustainable and how to introduce sustainability into their business to be more efficient in their operations. I'm also the president of Pupfish Sustainability Solutions. Pupfish's data destruction methods are AAA NAID certified through iSigma, which certifies our adherence to the high security and ethical standards in the data destruction industry. We operate on a zero landfill policy, which means nothing winds up in the landfill. Everything's 100% repurposed or recycled back into the U.S. manufacturing stream. And Pupfish received our certified B Corporation status in 2021, and we are proud to be a force for the local and global good.
Hello, I'm Kimberly Mitchell, founding member of America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Visit us at www.avcci.us and become a member today. I'm also the owner of Emerald City Ventures. I work with Gen X women who find themselves in a pattern of stopping and starting and starting and stopping. And we reunite you with that version of yourself that you've been trying to reach for years. And she's in there. We're going to bring her out. So visit us at www.kimm.co or email me at theowner@emeraldcityventures.net.
Hi, it's Neil Abruzzi, and I'm here to talk to you today about America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I am proud to be the head of the Technology for Business Committee, where through the Commerce we intend to bring usable technology information to the membership. Something not far-reaching, but something that you can use in your business, hopefully that very day. I'm 35 years running EDI Options. We're here a company for making connections between retailers and vendors. We provide connectivity services, integration services, data handling services, and all kinds of different commerce consulting. So come on and join us at the America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce. You're going to love it here, and I look forward to working with you going forward.
Hi, everyone. I am Joe Horowitz. I'm the Director of Compliance and Audit for Stetson Cyber Group. I am proud to be a member of the America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry, better known as the AVCCI. Stetson Cyber Group is a data privacy and protection firm specializing in cybersecurity risk management and network information security. What does that mean? We are your business partners. We come help you find all your risks related to cybersecurity by doing risk assessments, gap analysis. We do penetration testing, vulnerability scans. We also help you out by protecting your cybersecurity environment by doing employee trainings. We recommend all the right internal controls to put in place, and we do vCISO services. So my background has been in audit, risk, and compliance for 25 years. So we also get you prepared for all the compliances out there, whether it be federal or New York State, as far as like HIPAA, PCI, or if you're in New York State Department of Financial Services, we get you SOC 2 Type 2 compliant, ISO compliant, and CMMC for anyone who has to work with the federal government. Once again, a very proud member of the AVCCI, and look forward to seeing other chamber members in the future.
Hi, I'm Jolie Leidner, and I'm a founding member of America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And I'm also the co-chair of the Human Resources and Workforce Development Committee. And we at that committee will guide you with everything educational for HR and recruiting, as I own Jobs by Jolie, a staffing company. And we're here for all your staffing needs, where we staff every industry with a personal touch, and we do temporary, permanent, and temp to perm staffing, and we do it across the country. So I could be reached at 516-521-7602 or Jolie at jobsbyjolie.com. Hope to hear from you. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Steve Turner and excited to be a part of the American Virtual Chamber of Commerce, AVCCI. I am the owner and operator of Solomon Turner Public Relations in St. Louis, author of the book PR That Works, and a national speaker. We solve the problems of helping companies build their brand through PR strategies in this crazy era of AI. Solomon Turner helps business owners better connect with their customers and communities that they serve for the long term, and we help sales and marketing with long-term growth by using these PR strategies. We have clients nationwide. We've worked with a lot of people you would know, such as celebrities as Tony Robbins, Brian Tracy, Steve Forbes, and many corporations like Northwestern Mutual. So I invite you to reach out. Love to talk to you, meet you, and have a conversation. And feel free to email or call at the numbers provided. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Melina Picon. I'm a founding member at America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We would like you to join us today. I am also president of PowerBooks LLC. We provide outsourced accounting, bookkeeping, controller services of businesses of all size. We help them transition from struggling in-house messy bookkeeping to high-level financial department. By outsourcing with us, our clients save up to 40% on their accounting costs, which allows them to focus on generating revenue. We guarantee honest, balanced, timely, and efficient financial services. If you would like to talk us on the phone, you can call us at 845-208-4649. And if you would like to email me, my email address is melina@powerbooks-llc.com. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bill Miller. I am a relatively older author, founder, CEO of my own company, and I am a member of AVCCI. I joined this year. I've been on the podcast, the ABC podcast, AVP podcast, and I really enjoy this particular group. So I'm the author of 2 books, The Rookie CEO, You Can't Make This Stuff Up, and What Every CEO Must Know, 37 Secrets to Lead with Confidence and Power. I founded my own company, which is consulting now. I added publishing to it in 2011. It's Beeline Bill Enterprise. That's on beelinebill.com, and that website is being updated. This week it should be updated. And last year co-founded a company called Zaboom with 3 O's, LLC, Zaboom LLC, where we do voice AI, in mostly outbound calling. We do some inbound. So those are the things that I'm actively involved in. I have 5.5 decades in technology, the last 3.5 decades as an executive leader. I have had a seat at the table. I worked for many rookie CEOs or first-time CEOs, another way to say rookie, at various phases of their role, and that's what drove the creation of my first book. Living in the trenches, being a number 2 executive in a company, and knowing how decisions have made, knowing good decisions, bad decisions, decisions that could have gone either way. Think about your life. Every major decision in your life is a fork in the road. If you go this way, you take that job. If you go that way, you take another job. And that sets you up for whatever is next. And so our life is really built around the decisions we make and how they come out. So I've written about a lot of these experiences. The second book, I have actually firsthand stories from many CEOs in there. Some of them are CEO stories that I tell as the number two man or somebody on the executive team. Because you see, over the years, you see patterns of things that CEOs tend to do, especially first timers. First timers go in, they have a business function that they came from typically, unless they're a super young founder when they're very early, and they, especially these days with AI, there's a lot of founders that have never been in a corporate company, corporate America, where they've learned all of the things that you go through to work your way up the chain. So typically, though, the first time CEOs, all the ones I've worked with, they come from a business function. It could be engineering, could be sales, could be marketing, could be finance, and they have expertise that got them to where they were to be positioned for the CEO role. In one way or another, they either got promoted or they got hired into that role. When you get in there, you don't know what motivates all the other teams unless you have worked with somebody who's a coach or an advisor, board of directors, whoever it is that becomes your right hand right out of the chute. You really don't know what you don't know. And so my second book, and a lot of my speaking now and my writing, is about blind spots. And so I'll be releasing kind of a new offer very shortly that'll be on the new website, which is you'll be able to do a free CEO assessment to identify the top blind spots, the top things that you need help with. You get a free assessment. You can get an assessment brief report from me. All of that is for free. And then if you want to go into an intensive, what I call a blind spot intensive, then you can work with me for a modest fee. But there's a lot of experience there. I help people work around challenges that they just can't see around the corner. And a lot of times, again, like I said, you don't know all the different business functions. You know the one you come from the best. You might have opinions that you're a good marketer or a good salesperson, and maybe you are because you've learned from good people that have worked with you over the years. But to put it all together and be that person at the top, and your boss is the board of directors, or outside people, outside investors or shareholders, it gets to be a little bit more difficult when it's your decision. And who do you go to? Who do you talk to? What kind of advice are you going to get? Is it going to be filtered or unfiltered? Who do you trust? Who can you trust? All of those things, I try to help you build muscle to handle all of those specific situations. And again, my books are to help first-time CEOs, founders, and stuck CEOs kind of move forward, see what other people have done, see how it's worked out. Think about my second book, The 37 Secrets to Lead with Confidence and Power, what every CEO must know there. It's real stories. They're the biggest mistakes CEOs have made, how they could have avoided it, how they recovered from it, and how they moved forward. And you'll see in that book, if you read it, and I do recommend it, it's a great read, with 37 secrets to help you. The thing is that other people made these mistakes. You can see how they got there and the decision they made, why they made it, and what the results of that were in their particular company. And more than half of the CEOs that I write about in that book, these are their stories directly from them that they gave to me with rights to print it, use their name, the company that they were at, several other CEOs gave me the rights to their story, but would not identify themselves by name and company because they're still there. And so they're surviving. Uh, Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has blind spots. You should shorten your cycle to better leadership, making better decisions, especially under pressure, and especially when you don't know what you don't know. So those are the things that kind of make me tick these days. Um, Again, think about what I do. I have Beeline Bill Enterprises, which is my kind of like I call it a consulting firm. It used to be Beeline Bill Consulting, and then I changed it. But I have my publishing firm there, my consulting firm, and everything else that I do personally. I have my two books. I'm a co-founder of Zaboom, again with three O's, Zaboom LLC, which is a voice AI startup, about 7 or 8 months old now. And we have our first customers working on product market fit. We have some pretty satisfied return customers. It's a month-to-month SaaS type situation with voice AI. So my partner and I, as my life partner and business partner, we stay focused on using AI in business and all of the different types of methodologies. I have a blog on TMCnet, ceoinsights.tmcnet.com, which is the company called TMC, which is Technology Marketing Corporation. The CEO is Rich Durrani, president is Dave Rodriguez. I've been involved with them for years. I moderate a CEO Insights panel at IT Expo for the last 6 years in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and build a panel of 3 to 4 CEOs, and we just have a topic, whatever that topic is in the track we're on. So I do that. All of the recordings of those panels are on my YouTube channel, which if you do searches for Beeline Bill, which is my brand, BeeLineBill, same as my website. If you do searches for Beeline Bill, you'll find pretty much all of my a lot of my things. There's videos for also the CEO success stories that's sponsored by the Cloud Voice Alliance. I'm sort of a content advisor there, and I interview CEOs in the telecom space and related because I've been involved in that market for many years. And voice AI is kind of part of that because voice is coming back as a big thing these days. There's nothing like a good old telephone call, and now voice AI is considered an automated call by the FCC and TCPA, Telecommunications Consumer Protection Act. And when you think about all of the things that I do in a semi-retired mode, I'm kind of busier now than I was when I was working full time, which I left technology in 2020. That's when I wrote my first book in 2020. The second book was published the end of 25. I stay active. It's one of the reasons that I joined the AVCCI and their book club. And we featured me in the first inaugural of that particular podcast, and my book is listed on the AVCCI book club website. So kind of that's me in a nutshell. I live in Maplewood, Minnesota, which is part of St. Paul. I come from the Boston area, so I'm a hardcore Boston and New England sports fan. I was born and bred in that area, went to school in Needham, Mass, and then Northeastern. I've lived in many states besides Massachusetts, California, Southern California, Northern California. I've lived in Huntsville, Alabama when I worked for Digium. I've lived in Minnesota now twice. This is my second time, and we're here because of a grandbaby that's a half an hour away. And so I stay pretty active online, and this is a great group to be part of.
Hey everyone, my name is Brent Gary, and I'm proud to be a founder member of the AVCCI, America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I'm inviting you to join our new movement at avcci.us. In addition, I'm a fractional CMO at Gary Consulting, where I work with business owners who are past the startup stage and fully into scaling, but they need your marketing to go from guesswork to growing. Thank you. Have a great day.
Hi, I'm Francis Borges, consulting partner with Era Group. I'm proud to be a founding member of AVCCI, America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And I'm honored to serve as co-chair of the Manufacturing and Healthcare Committee. With 25 years of finance transformation and business consulting experience, working with Fortune 100 and 500 companies across manufacturing, healthcare, financial services, and other industries, I've had the privilege of driving hundreds of millions of dollars in annual savings in some of the world's largest organizations. But now I've deliberately pivoted to bring that same caliber of expertise to where I believe it's needed most, the mid-market. With Era Group, I partner with founders, CEOs, and CFOs of mid-sized businesses that face what most are dealing with right now: margin pressure, rising costs, supply chain disruptions, and an increasingly competitive landscape. We help them find hidden EBITDA in their overheads and vendor spend, unlocking savings that go straight to the bottom line to fund growth, improve cash flow, boost valuation, and protect the margins that keep them competitive. Well, the top three things that clients love most about us: we bring that deep category expertise and the resources that the mid-market simply doesn't have access to. We do the heavy lifting, working as a seamless extension of their team to secure real savings. And we do all of this completely risk-free. No upfront budget. We are rewarded only when we put money back in your pocket. Bring back to AVCCI. It's a powerful virtual community where business leaders can connect, collaborate, and grow their businesses together. Well, we are just getting started, and that's exactly why you want to be here right now. Come join us, be part of our great journey. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Christian Torres. I am one of the new founding members of the American Virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Now, what does that actually mean? Well, we're putting together some committees that are shaped specifically to help business owners just like you. And I'm proud to be the new co-chair of the Business Strategy and Innovation Committee, which means every month we're going to be working together to bring you the educational content, the insights, the learnings, and the resources to help you figure out what's next, what's on the horizon. There are so many shifts in the marketplace right now and disruptions going on every single day. My background is actually in decision intelligence, which means that I help companies make high-stakes decisions using data, AI, and decision-making frameworks. And I do that all through my company, Stark Analytics. So I am really, really excited to bring that expertise and knowledge to the Committee for Business Strategy and Innovation and help business owners just like you get the tactical advantage that they need to succeed.
Would you like to listen to music during your work time? We are here to help. We created ABP Office Music Pod, powered by the American Business Podcast. ABP Office Music Pod is for you, the working professional. You can enjoy jazz, lo-fi, smooth jazz, classic music, and more during your work time. We keep the music positive and energetic. You can go to the YouTube channel of the American Business Podcast, or you can scan this QR code and start listening right away. There is more coming in the American Business Podcast, and this is one of them. Enjoy ABP Office Music Pod during your work time, and thank you very much for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Reddit. Do you know the biggest challenge nowadays for American small businesses? there is visibility. That's why we partner with Reddit for Business. There are more than 440 million visitors weekly on Reddit. Furthermore, Reddit is reliable and millions of users are going to Reddit to get the real feedback from real people. It is the number one source for real reviews on products, services, and brands. There is a promotion going on that I'd like you to consider and take advantage of. When you spend $500 on Reddit for advertising, you'll get $500 in advertising credit. True story. I am a Reddit user, and anytime I like to have feedback or review for a product or service, I go to Reddit and I talk to Reddit communities. I get the real feedback and real review from real people and real communities. Scan this QR code and sign up for Reddit advertising. Get the visibility for your company, for your products and services on Reddit with Reddit advertising. Reach people ready to buy your products and services with Reddit advertising. Scan the QR code and sign up today. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Anywhere Apps by Kerr Consulting, now Cherry Baker. Anywhere Apps are designed to help you digitize and automate your business processes. Anywhere Apps are family of business software products. There are more than 40 products available for business process digitization and automation. Anywhere's apps are easy to use, they are standalone, and they are also ready to integrate with your ERP and accounting software systems. Today, I'd like to promote APS Anywhere, which is part of Anywhere Apps software product portfolio. APS Anywhere, designed for manufacturing companies. Whether you are a process manufacturing company, food and beverage, chemical, and more, or a discrete manufacturing company, automotive, aerospace, electronics, and more. APS stands for Advanced Planning and Scheduling. APS Anywhere is ready to streamline, digitize, and automate your production planning process. As you know, in manufacturing, production planning is not easy. There are always some bottlenecks and challenges. You need to put together your resources, 3M, man, machine, and material. APS Anywhere designed to streamline this process and automate it for you. It is a modern system. It runs on cloud. It also has deployment options for installation on your server or your private cloud environment. The system is scalable. It comes with unlimited number of production planning scenarios, meaning before you execute, you can see the financial implications and timing of your production planning on APS Anywhere. APS Anywhere comes with a very colorful and easy-to-use Gantt chart so that you can see your production planning on a colorful and easy-to-operate Gantt chart before you finalize your production planning purposes. The system is also integratable. It is ready to integrate your ERP system, MRP system, and other systems whenever there is a need. It is designed for manufacturing companies by manufacturing experts. It also comes with ready-made reports if you like to utilize. Furthermore, on APS Anywhere, you can also use demand forecasting function, meaning based on your past manufacturing and sales figures, the system can predict what will be your demand in the future. This will help you manage your supply chain in a more productive manner. I have the QR code on the screen. You can scan the QR code and you can learn more about APS Anywhere as well as Anywhere App software system in general. There is more. I have a direct line for you. You can send me a direct email, kevin@kerrconsulting.com. kevin@kerrconsulting.com, and I'll be happy to hear from you about Anywhere Apps, APS Anywhere, or any Anywhere Apps that is offered by Anywhere Apps by Kerr Consulting, now Cherry Baker. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Otter AI. Otter is the AI note taker that builds your knowledge and powers your workflow with transcription, automated summaries, AI chat, and more. Get your AI-powered assistant for meeting notes, tasks, and more. Scan the QR code on the screen and sign up today. Other AI is the latest note taker that you can utilize, and you can set your meetings, you can take your notes, and you can also set up your follow-up actions automatically with the help of the other AI. Scan the QR code and sign up today. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from DocuSign. If you are signing vendor contracts and customer contracts very often, just like I do on daily basis, consider DocuSign. DocuSign is the latest modern digital and electronic signature software system. Furthermore, you can manage your vendor contracts, customer contracts, NDAs, and any other commercial contracts on DocuSign digitally with no need of local installation and no need of keeping your documents on your laptop or your mobile device. Furthermore, with the latest technology of DocuSign, it has intelligent agreement management. It recognizes your repeated documents and creates contracts automatically and makes things easier for you. Do you know how many users are there for the DocuSign system? More than 1 billion users. There are many companies using DocuSign and trust DocuSign for electronic and digital signature. True story. I also use DocuSign on daily basis and it works smoothly. Highly recommended. You see the QR code on the screen. When you scan the QR code, you fill up the form to start your free trial and join the DocuSign user community. Enjoy your DocuSign experience, and I hope you sign up today. I have the QR code on the screen. Thank you very much, and enjoy the experience. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Gemini Trust. Gemini makes crypto simple. Find, trade, and buy over 70 different coins, including Bitcoin and Solana, on the best cryptocurrency platform. Gemini Trust. Start trading crypto here. I have the QR code on the screen. You can scan the QR code and start signing up today. Because they have a great customer service, you can reach out to them and get assistance 24/7. Scan the QR code and start trading crypto on Gemini. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Wizen. At the American Business Podcast, we always talk about continuous improvement and professional development. That is why we partner with Wizen, trust the nation's largest network for tutoring. Wizen helps you find the tutor that you need in many different subjects: chemistry, computer, foreign languages, geometry, English, music, physics, reading, SAT, science, and many more. I have the QR code on the screen that you can sign up and start searching for tutors and enjoy the learning experience and continuous improvement as we always talk about in the American Business Podcast. Scan the QR code and sign up for Wizen today. Thank you very much. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Rosetta Stone. Rosetta Stone is bringing you foreign languages. Learn from the experts, choose your plan to get started, sign up today. New Year is coming, and if your New Year resolution is learning a foreign language, Rosetta Stone is the choice for you. Rosetta Stone is offering you a long list of foreign languages: French, Italian, German, Chinese, Greek, Turkish, Polish, Portuguese, Vietnamese, and many more languages are available for you to get started today. Scan the QR code on the screen and sign up for Rosetta Stone and enjoy the learning experience of foreign language. Thank you very much. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Anywhere Apps by Kirk Consulting, now Cherry Beckert. Anywhere Apps are business software systems, and they are designed to digitize and automate your business processes. Today, I like to focus on contract management anywhere as part of Anywhere Apps software product portfolio. Contract Management Anywhere is an AI-powered vendor, customer, and legal contract management software system. It is modern, it runs on cloud, it's easy to use, and it's scalable. Because of the AI capabilities of the system, software comes with an AI chatbot that you can get your answers about any contracts that you have. Renewal dates, amounts, start dates, and other details can be learned from the system in a conversation. I have the QR code on the screen. You can scan the QR code to learn more about Contract Management Anywhere, as well as Anywhere apps in general. There is more. I have a direct email for you. You can send me a direct email about Anywhere apps and Contract Management Anywhere, kevin@careconsulting.com. I'll be happy to help you and help you schedule a demo session with Team Anywhere apps. Looking forward to hearing from you, and I hope you enjoy Anywhere apps. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Norton, advanced tech for advanced threats. Sign up today. Norton offers you different packages to completely save and secure your data and your devices. Each Norton package comes with antivirus, malware, ransomware, and hacking protection capabilities. In addition, there is VPN, private internet connection, dark web monitoring, and parental control capabilities in each package. There is a promotion going on right now. I have the QR code on the screen. You can get up to 60% discount if you sign up right now for one of the packages. There are packages of Deluxe, Standard, Plus, and Select. Depends on the number of devices that you like to connect, as well as the features that you like to utilize when you are using Norton. I have the QR code on the screen. When you scan the QR code, you'll see the different packages and options available for you. Scan the QR code, go to the page that you like to sign up, pick the package that you like to use, and sign up today. True story. I am also using Norton on a daily basis, and I know all of my devices are secure every single day, thanks to Norton. Scan the QR code on the screen and start using Norton today and save your devices and your data in a safe and secure manner with the help of Norton. Thank you very much. I enjoyed the experience. Thank you for being with me in the American Business Podcast. If you'd like to be a guest in the American Business Podcast, please send us an email, guestbooking@americanpodcast.tv. If you'd like to sponsor ABP, if you'd like to advertise in our podcast episodes, please send us an email, growyourbusiness@americanpodcast.tv. You can advertise your company, your products, your services, and your brands in the American Business Podcast. Please send us an email, growyourbusiness@americanpodcast.tv. You can also visit our website, americanpodcast.tv, to learn more about the American Business Podcast, as well as our coming streaming schedule. Now you can have your branded company podcast within the American Business Podcast network. We call it Business Podcasting as a Service, PaaS. If you're interested in starting your business podcast in the American Business Podcast network, please send us an email, paas@americanpodcast.tv. As part of our international expansion, we started international podcast editions. When you scan this QR code, it'll take you to our YouTube page. And please go to the podcast section in our YouTube page, and you'll see our international podcast editions. They are ABP Espanol, ABP German, ABP French, ABP Hindi, ABP Portuguese, and ABP Turk, that you can listen to American Business Podcast in 6 different foreign languages. Okay, well, we are in the process of increasing our presence in social media. If you're on LinkedIn, please scan this QR code and subscribe, follow us on LinkedIn. If you're on TikTok, please scan this QR code. It'll take you to our TikTok page. Please subscribe. Please follow us. If you are on Instagram, please scan this QR code. It'll take you to our Instagram page, and please subscribe. If you are on Facebook, we'll also appreciate your help and support. Please scan this QR code. It'll take you to our Facebook page and please follow us. And finally, we are on IMDb, next to other reputable media productions. Please scan this QR code, go to our IMDb page, and please rate us on IMDb. We'll truly appreciate your help and support. I'd like to thank you for your help. Thank you for your support. I'm looking forward to seeing you in coming The American Business Podcast episodes. The American Business Podcast is the voice of American business. The American Business Podcast, America's fastest growing educational business podcast network in this age of AI. Thank you very much for your help and looking forward to seeing you. Thank you.